Hey, you guys, what's going on? Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the broadcast and share. I encourage you to do the same thing. Come on in and share. You don't want to miss this word, life changing word. All right, let me go ahead and share while you guys are coming in. There's a song that is so in my spirit right now. And I think I'm going to play a snippet of it. They're going to probably act a little crazy about it. But anyway, we're going to play a little snippet of it because I don't know. There's something happening. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a place where you felt like, okay, something's going on. Something's going on. But that's where I am today. And so I'm going to share a little bit of this song because it really exemplifies, I think, where I am. You guys come on in, come on in. Woo, this is the day. This is the day. Mm, you cannot beat God at how he moves. You absolutely cannot. You can't beat God at his strategic ways of doing things. You can't. You can't beat God at turning things around. You can't beat God at making what looks crazy be absolutely amazing. You can't beat God. You guys share. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Uh so today I'm talking about don't be scared. Like, have you ever like wanted to do something so badly, right? Like you wanted to do it, like you ready, you done psyched yourself up. Hey Ashley, how are you? Gorgeous. It's so good to see you. You done psyched yourself up to do it. Good morning, Stacy. Hey, beautiful. You like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this. Like it's something that you're kind of scared of, but you really want to do it, right? For me, it would be like skydiving. Like I really want to skydive, but I just know that like when push came to shove, like I'm gonna be a little scared. Right? Anybody, did I get you hooked yesterday, Ashley? Yes, queens in the building. Anybody ever want to do something and you you get to the point where you're getting ready to do it, but like you are literally almost terrified to do the thing that you wanted to do. Like you wanted to do it, here it is, this is your opportunity, but now you like, wait, whoa, for real? Is this happening? Listen, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If that's you, you're not alone. Right, Stacy? Like literally, like you looking at it like, well, yeah, I want to do it, but I don't know. Listen, let me tell you what the enemy does. Okay. So the enemy's whole thing is he knows that the only way he can prevent you from getting to destiny is you not going to your destiny. It's the only way. It's literally, you literally have to stop. You just have to stop in order for you not to get to destiny, because God will always provide ways of moving you, maneuvering you, shifting you to get you to the point where you're back on track for your destiny. The thing is, he's never going to force you. Like he's never going to force you. He's never going to make you do it, but he'll present opportunities. So what the enemy does is the enemy says, well, you remember the last time you tried to do something and it didn't work. And you remember the last time that you were in a relationship, it didn't work. And you remember the last time that you took a chance on starting a business and it didn't work. And you remember the last time that you tried to trade and it didn't work. And you remember the last time. He always wants to bring up the past. as an indicator of what's possible in the present and the future. Look at your neighbor and say, the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Listen, I don't care what happened the last time. The last time is absolutely irrelevant to now. Irrelevant. Other than the lessons that you learned, like irrelevant. You've got to know that what God is doing in your life is so great that you're going to have some last times. That's just it. You're going to have some last times, some times when stuff didn't work, when relationships didn't work, when friends didn't work, when businesses didn't work, sometimes when churches didn't work, sometimes when, your ideas didn't work. You're going to have some last times. You're going to have some. It's okay. It's okay. Because I'm getting ready to bless you today. Don't be scared because of the last time. Don't be scared. The last time came so that it would be the last time you would experience that. The last time came so it will be the last time that you would experience that. Right, Stacy? He's a liar. And the truth is not in him. So check this out. The last time, if you're doing it now, it's not the last time. What you're doing now is the last time. The last time, if you kept going and you're doing it again, was not the last time. The last time is now. What you're doing right now. Listen, I was talking to mama and she had neck surgery, and last night she was in a lot of pain, a lot of excruciating pain. And in the midst of her pain, like, y'all know I like to be able to do something about situations. When I can't do nothing about it, I'll be like out of my element. I'll be like, I come and say, Tay. I couldn't do anything. I don't like not being able to do anything. And so mom and I were talking, and she said, this pain hits different. And this is what God began to speak to me. And I want y'all to hear me clearly. The last time always hits differently. Hey, Lisa, the last time always hits differently. It's not like any of the other times. It's different. Why? The last time has to be different. That's how you know it's the last time. I know in your mind you're saying, the enemy's messing with you, and he's saying, well, the last time when you tried this, it didn't work. And the last time you were in a relationship, it didn't work. And the last time you traded, it didn't work. And the last time you opened a business, it didn't work. And the last time you tried to go live, it didn't work. And the last time, like, you can fill in the blank for whatever the last, but it's not the last time if you're doing it now. That's a lie. Lie from the pit of hell. Now it's the last time. This is the last time. This is the last time. What if this is the last time? What if you do it this time and it works? What if this time works and it's so different that, like, you're like, oh my God. Hey, Michael, how are you? What if? What if this is the time? Because remember, I told y'all we're so close, right? We're close, right? So what if this is the time that is your breakthrough? This is the conversation that changes your life and gets you to destiny. This is the time that you take a chance and you really make money. Like, what if this is the time that you take a risk on a relationship, and it's everything that you've ever wanted and all you've ever dreamed of, right? What if this time, it's it? What if that's the case? And you're gonna risk missing that because the enemy is taunting you and saying, the last time it didn't, the last time it didn't. Well, let me tell y'all something, because I want y'all to be real clear. Whatever the enemy's talking about, last time ain't my last time. Lisa posted something today, and she said that she'll never quit, give up, stop. You fill in the blank, right? Well, that's my whole testimony. So when the enemy taunts me, that means when he start, trying to make me scared, that means, this different. This is different. Why would he make you scared if it's not going to be different? Why would he make you scared if it's not something that can change your life? Why would he make you scared if, this is not something significant? Why would he make you scared if, he knows that it's not going to do anything? It's not going to go anywhere. He has no reason to. Use some reverse. I need y'all to pay attention to the cues, right? Pay attention to the cues. When the enemy is haunting you and messing with your mind and trying to convince you that the last time it didn't, baby, pay attention. God doesn't taunt us like that. That's how you know it's not his voice. Because I know some of you are sitting there saying, well, what if God is trying to warn me? If God is going to warn you, he's going to just tell you, no, don't do that. That's not what I want you to do. Why would he be like, that last time? Why would he do that? That ain't God. That's the enemy. So if the enemy is taunting you, I promise you, it's not because it's um, it's something that's going to destroy you. He's not going to do that. He's not. He's going to let you do that. Like, he's going to encourage you to do that. Do y'all understand his tricks yet? So if the enemy is trying to make you scared, he's trying to block you. He knows that if you make this move, he knows if you make this investment, he knows if you start this business, he knows that if you start this relationship, he knows that if you do this, you're going to be so close to destiny, or you're going to step in it. And do you understand that your destiny is not just about you? Right, Lisa. Your destiny is not just about you. So he's not even just worried about you, baby. You might not even be his primary target. You just the way to stop something, right? You may not be his primary target. His primary target may be somebody that's connected to you, that your move is going to absolutely change their life. And therefore, he wants to prevent you from moving. Because if their life gets changed, he sees the people connected to them and how many people are going to be, their lives are going to be changed. See, understand, it is all a plot. It is all a scheme. The enemy is trying to stop the destinies of the anointed ones. And everyone has anointing, but there are anointed ones who are called to do things that are going to affect massive groups of people. Massive groups of people. Yes, Stacey, he's using fear and discouragement. So if you are one of the anointed ones, oh, he's definitely coming for your head. He gonna come for your head time after time after time. And if he's coming for your head time after time after time, oh, you about to wreck some stuff when you get to where that place of destiny, when you keep moving forward, when you keep allowing God to use you. Can I just be honest with y'all? I ask y'all this all the time. Y'all know I'm going to be anyway, right? Listen, the enemy always be thinking he finna take me out. He be thinking he finna take me out. He be thinking, oh, I'm finna make her feel away. Because he knows that the only way that I don't get to my destiny is me. The only thing preventing me from getting to my destiny is me. I'm the only one who can do it. Hey, Corey, I'm the only one. So what he'll do is he'll try to discourage me in areas that he know I'm sensitive in, right? I'm so relational. I'm such a relational person that relationships have been that area where like he messes with me. Like whether we're talking about friendships or business relationships, especially romantic relationships. Oh my God, like he really be trying to hit me there. He be like, now what? Now what? Now what? I'm like, okay, okay. And so my natural instinct, right, is to say, I never want a relationship again. Listen, these be doing too much. I just like that's naturally what I want to say in the flesh. But do you know what I have to say? Okay, God, I know that you up to something huge. What you got? What you got? Now that's a dangerous place to be. Because when you ask God what you got, he'll show you. And then you can't afford to get scared because the last time. Everything God has promised you is right there. It's right there. You're so close. I promise you. You're so close. I've been telling y'all this. You're so close. Yesterday, I was on the God class in Clubhouse, and we were talking about what God was saying, and Dr. Samantha Phillips was saying that God is saying that you're clear for takeoff, right? That there have been some things that have been in the way, but you're clear for takeoff. There have been some things that have stopped you, but you're clear for takeoff, right? That the runway is clear. When they say you're clear for takeoff, that means there's no more obstacles in your way. So the only way the enemy can get you to stop if you're cleared for takeoff is if you stop. That's the only way. The only way the enemy can get you to stop is if you stop, if you quit, if you give up, if you forfeit game. That's it. It's the only way. As long as you're in the game, as long as you keep going, as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep pursuing, as long as you keep doing that, baby, he can't stop you, which is why we're doing this 21-day fast, because you ain't got time to stop. We are doing Forward Focus 21 days to set focus and propel you into destiny. This is my book, my devotional. We're using it. We start Sunday on the fast. Now, listen, some of us just did this fast leading up to resurrection, right? We just did the fasting, but now we're leading up to Pentecost. And I told y'all, and I said it yesterday on the line, God told me that his outpouring, this Pentecost, has not been, an outpouring like this has not been seen in decades. In decades, he hasn't poured out his spirit like he's going to pour it out this Pentecost. So he needs people who are in position and ready. What does it mean to be in position? I told y'all, stay in position, right? It means your heart is right. Your mind is right. You're in right alignment with God and in right alignment with relationships. God is getting ready to release his spirit on the earth, especially on the remnant. Those who are bold enough to say the stuff that nobody else will say. Those who are bold enough to do the things that are nobody else is willing to do. Those who are bold enough to heal. I'm talking about really heal. I'm not talking about this surface healing that's going on. I'm talking about really heal those deep wounds, the wounds that you won't talk about, the things that were done to you that created trauma in your life, traumatized you in relationship, traumatized you in your family, traumatized you in business, traumatized you in school, traumatized you. I'm talking those trauma triggered things, those things that trigger your traumas. I'm talking about those people who have been affected deeply, that have been traumatized and they've been experienced trauma. Listen, God says that I need you healed. Why does he need you healed? He needs you healed so that you can go heal others. And the crazy thing is this: those who are called to be a healer experience the most pain and trauma. Did y'all hear what I said? Those who are called to be healers experience the most pain and trauma. Why? Because they've got to be able to know what it feels like to overcome. They've got to know what overcoming looks like. They've got to have overcome some stuff. You've got to. You can't get to the place where you are a healer on the level that God desires for you to be, and you ain't gone through nothing. The devil is a lie. Whatever area of ministry he has for you, oh, you're going to go through some stuff in that area. Oh, you're going to experience some stuff. Some folks going to talk about you. Some folks going to say, oh, they ain't no count. They ain't no good. They ain't never going to be nothing, but they don't know your story. And so when you keep going, God gives you a testimony that is so amazing that a person who finds himself in the throes of whatever it is that you went through, whatever it is that attempted to take you out, will know that they can get up and come out. But you won't do that. You won't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that because that's too much work. You don't want to do that. Because you got to reveal some stuff. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work again? What if what if what if the universal precursor to worry, fear, and doubt, the enemy's greatest tool is what if? Ah, the enemy's greatest tool is what if? What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? What if it wasn't? What if it didn't? What if? What if? What if? Let me help you. What if it's everything you thought it was? What if it's absolutely everything you dreamed of? What if it's the very thing that unlocks all of the things that God has stored up for you? What if this is the time that everything turns around? What if? So, if I'm going to live in what if what if is going to be my mantra, I'm going to live in the what if it does. What if it is? What if it changes everything? So Lori said, good morning, Dr. V. Don't stop. You're inspiring the masses. So am I. And the enemy is mad that we're unstoppable. He absolutely is. So he sends every little thing, honey. Listen. Yes, Lisa. You can't worry about what ifs, but you can use them. See, I believe in flipping things, right? I believe in flipping things. I believe that when you flip language that's spoken, then you change the direction that it goes. Like, I believe that things inherently have no positive or negative, but we give them a positive or negative. And so, it is our assignment of value, good or bad, positive, negative, that defines how a word impacts us, right? So what if I had never found out about my father? What if I'd never moved to North Carolina? You wouldn't see the version of Dr. V that you see now. You wouldn't. This version is a specific result. Me take a risk, a big risk, a great risk, a risk that people looked at me and said, you're crazy. My family was like, what you doing? Like, you ain't even met them people yet. You don't know them people. You just finna move there. You don't know them. They could be mass murderers, right? Like, you don't know. They could be getting ready to sell you off in human trafficking. You don't know. And I'm not saying anybody said that exactly, but you know what I'm saying? People are always looking at the negative, and I choose to look at the positive. So I knew that God said to come to North Carolina. I knew he said, come be with my daddy. I had no idea it was going to impact me the way it has. Something has absolutely, totally, and irrevocably shifted in me for the good. But had I not come, I don't know when that would have happened or if it would have. 55 years of my life, there was something I was looking for, something I was searching for. I searched for it in relationships. I searched for it in marriages. I searched for it in sex. I searched for it and I didn't find it. And I found myself in a constant state of frustration, particularly as it related to men. But it was because there were some holes in me that only my daddy could fill, that only my daddy could correct, that only my daddy could make better. Only him. He was the only man who was going to be able to give me what I needed in this moment. Now, for me, he's living, right? And so I get the benefit and the blessing of experiencing that on in the land of the living while he's alive. For some people, the person that they're already gone, right? So you say, Dr. V, but my parents are gone. So what do I do? Because I know there's something missing, particularly as it relates to my parents. Then this is when you have to allow God to send you substitutes. God will send you a substitute, someone who will occupy that space that will allow healing to occur. Now, I know a little bit about that because I've had the honor and the privilege of being that for some people, to stand in the gap for the parent who is not there or the parent who is absent, not there because they're not living or I've had the privilege, and it is a privilege, but it's a weight also, right? But every time I've done it, it was a seed sown, and I saw people get a freedom and a liberation that can only come through certain experiences. See, God has used me and allowed me to be that. So if you have a wound, you have a wound as you have a father wound or a mama wound, a daddy wound or a mama wound. I need you to know this: because they're gone doesn't mean that you can't be healed. It doesn't mean that. It simply means that it's going to require something a little different. In the month of July, my daddy and I are doing um, daddy wound workshops and mommy wound workshops in August. That's coming in August. Listen, why are we doing it? We're doing it because people need healing. People need healing. You need to be made whole. But in the meantime, y'all stop. You can't allow fear to stop you. There's a story in the Bible. I can't tell you exactly where. Okay. I think it's in the book of Daniel. I'm gonna use that one because there's several that I could use. Okay. So in the book of Daniel, Daniel is in a place where He is he's weak. He's prayed and he's waiting for the answer, and the answer hasn't come, and he's distraught and he's distressed, and like he's ready to give up, he's ready to quit. And some of you may be at that place. That may be a familiar place, right? And all of a sudden the angel comes. He's been waiting for God to give an answer, waiting for God to show up. It's like, God, but I've been faithful and I'm not understanding why you're not answering me. What he didn't understand was that his request, that he was so great that there was an entire war, a whole battle trying to prevent the answer to get to him, from getting to him. So literally when he prayed, God sent the answer, but the enemy came to attack and prevent the angel from getting the answer to him. So when the angel finally got there, he was overwhelmed. He bowed down and his knees were weak and they were feeble. And the angel said, "Get up," and touched his knees, and he was able to get up. Y'all, I came to touch your knees so that you could get up. Y'all, I'm telling you, what God is getting ready to do is so amazing. It brings tears to my eyes. And whereas in the past, you may have been the one with the vision and trying to make everything happen, this time will be different. The last time is not like anything that you've ever experienced before. So don't be surprised that it's a little frightening, but it's time for you to get everything God has promised you. And it's going to be better than you thought. You were going to shortchange yourself. God said, "No, you're not, because this is the last time." And this last time is designed for destiny, for lasting, for ongoing. Listen, I believe that God has got us in a place where he's getting ready to make our money grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. All of the holes that have been in our bags, all of the holes that have been in our pockets, all of the holes that have been in our bank accounts are being sewed up, closed up now. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. So that things won't come in and immediately fall out, come in and immediately fall out, come in and immediately fall out. That season of your life is over. This new season, it's about come in and grow, come in and grow, come in and grow. In your relationships, you all have been feeling like, oh, I'm never going to have a relationship if you're not in one. Okay, so I'm talking to those people who are not in a relationship, or they're not in a stable relationship. Oh, this is never going to be what I want. Da, 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 da. Listen, I'm going to tell you two things. If you're currently in a relationship and it's not meshing, I'm not talking about it's not going at your time frame, because your time frame don't matter, God's does, right? So if you're in a relationship and it's not meshing, you have two options: stay and shut up, or go. Stop playing. If it's not what you want and what you need, go. Go. Release that person to what they need, release them to their destiny. Go. It's okay. Everybody will be okay. I promise you. I promise you, everybody will be okay. It's okay. Appreciate it and value it for what it is, what it was, and keep moving, right? And if you're not in a relationship, I came to give you a word of encouragement, and I need y'all to get ready for this. God is going to send exactly what you need suddenly. Suddenly, the person is going to show up. Suddenly, everything is going to line up. Suddenly, you're going to be walking through it. Suddenly, it's going to happen. But listen, it can't happen for you like that until you get rid of the other. Some of y'all are missing your blessing because you in a situationship, an entanglement. Hmm. You better get what God has for you, because what God has for you is better, right? It's so much better. It's way better. And it is destiny. It is destiny. It is listen, I would rather have a destiny relationship than a convenient one. I would rather have a destiny relationship than a good one. I would rather have a destiny relationship than just a relationship for the sake of having a relationship. I want destiny. I want somebody who dreams so big that they scare me. I'll be like, "Oh, you want to do what?" I want someone who's willing to take risk, who's willing to go the extra mile, someone who challenges me, who pushes me, who makes me better. Now that's hard because I got a lot of ambition. That's hard. That's a big, listen, that's a big thing right there. That's a big thing. I want somebody like that. But that's scary because imagine, okay, for me, as crazy as my faith is, me thinking about someone whose faith is crazier than mine, I'm like, whoo, what? What? But listen, what God has for you, what God has for me, is going to do all that it needs to do to get you to destiny. If it's not stretching you, it's not moving you. It can't get you to destiny. The problem is, and God gave me this analogy. Some of us are Lazaruses. Okay, we're Lazaruses. Okay, so let's talk about Lazarus for a minute. Lazarus was in the tomb. They had put Lazarus in the tomb. His sisters were like, Jesus, why you didn't come? Because you could have got him. You could have kept him from dying. He had to die. My God, this is going to help you. He had to die. He had to die because if he had not died, Jesus would not have been able to call him forward, right? If he had not died, and if he had not gotten to the point where he was thinking, the people would not have recognized the miracle for what it was. They would have just said, oh, he wasn't really dead. Oh, did y'all hear on the news where there was a woman, they were having her funeral and they were getting ready to bury her. And then she woke up and she was like tapping on the coffin. And they were like, what in the world? Like she wasn't really dead, right? So, but they thought she was dead. So they took her out and everything, took her to the hospital, but then she died. She died for real, the final death, right? But imagine if Lazarus had never died, we wouldn't have that story, right? The story is significant because it is a reminder to us that even when we've been called dead and counted out, that God can call us forward. Listen, he is the reviver. He is the God of resurrection. That's what he is. Now, this is significant because we just came out of resurrection, right? Resurrection Sunday, we're in between resurrection and Pentecost. Y'all need to know that some stuff had to die so that you could be resurrected. And I know you're in limbo right now. I know this is the waiting period, but I promise you, if you wait in the upper room, what's coming in the upper room is better than what would have been. Listen, I'm telling you, if you had stayed alive, if you stayed in that situation, I'm telling you, you would have missed what's getting ready to happen at the Pentecost when the outpouring comes. So check this out. Lazarus is in the tomb, he's in the grave, and you know, Jesus tells him, all right, hold up. Just let me handle this. He says, Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus dead, been stinking, it's starting to smell. You know, it might have been some bugs on him and stuff. He said, Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus comes forth. But check this out. This is what God showed me last night. He said, listen, Lazarus had a choice even in his death. He had a choice to stay in the grave or to come forward. Lazarus had a choice. He was dead, but he could choose death or life. He had a choice. So when Jesus called him, he could have stayed where he was, but he didn't. He came forward. See, some of you, God has been calling you forward and you've chosen to stay in the grave. You've chosen to stay in the tomb. You've chosen to stay in that dead thing because you're scared of what's out there on the other side. You're scared of what you're going to look like. You're scared of what it's going to be like. Oh, you're scared that you're going to come out and because you were dead, you're going to look like a zombie. You ain't going to look like no zombie. That ain't how God does it. When God resurrects you, he makes you better than new. He makes you better than you were. Like that's not what God does. It's going to be better than. So literally Lazarus had a choice. He could either choose to come out of the tomb or stay. He chose to come out. But check this out. Let me take it a step forward. Let me take it a step further. Let me take it a step further because this is going to bless somebody. When Lazarus came forward, Jesus said, remove the grave clothes. Now, Lazarus could have said, no. Leave the grave clothes on me. Leave me wrapped up. Leave me. Because listen, I know this. This feels like a cocoon. This is comfortable. I know this. I recognize this. This feels like swaddling when I was a baby, you know, and I was swaddled. My mama would swaddle me to comfort me and to console me. Lazarus could have stayed in those grave clothes, wrapped all up. He could have said, no, don't take them off. Don't take them off. Don't take them off. Leave. He could have said that God is a God of choice. God is a God of choice. And you never let anybody make you think that God is a God of, you know, oh, I'm going to make you do it. Now, he may allow you to go through situations that put you to the point where you finally make the choice, but he's a God of choice. He is a gentleman. God is gracious. He's going to let you choose. Now, you're going to deal with the consequences of your choice, but you can choose. How many of you are still in the dead place, in the grave, because you chose it? God tried to bring you out, but you chose to stay in the grave. God tried to get you off that dead job, but you chose to stay because you knew it. And you wanted to make sure that you still had money coming in, right? How many are still in a dead relationship? God told you to leave the relationship, but you didn't want to leave. You didn't want to leave because you didn't want to be by yourself. Like, I don't want to be by myself. I just want a relationship. God, God tried to bring you out, and you, and now it's turned sour. You're bitter when God was trying to make you better and give you better. How many of you? How many of you have stayed in a financial situation knowing it wasn't what was in your best interest, but you stayed because you were scared of what to do differently? Like, well, if I did this and this was wrong, I don't want to do something else because that might be wrong too. How many? How many of you have found yourself in a place where God told you to do something and you didn't do it? And he brought an opportunity back around and you were scared to do it. Like, well, I don't know because I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, fear is not of God. Fear is not of God. Fear is from the enemy. So if you're feeling afraid, the enemy's messing with you. The enemy's trying to keep you from destiny. And you're the only one who can allow him to do it. You're the one who controls. You're the one who controls what this is going to be. Let me say it like this. Let me say it like this. Maybe this will help you. When Jesus called Lazarus forward, he said, Lazarus, come forth. Lazarus came forward. He said, take the grave clothes off of him. And they began to unwrap him. Now, mind you, he had been in there stinking and everything, right? Take the grave clothes off. They took the grave clothes off of him. Do you think after Lazarus was in that grave, dead, had been called out, came out, had the grave clothes removed, that he still stayed there like he was dead? Or do you think he lived? Some of you are afraid to live. You're scared to live. You're scared to live. You're scared of what people are going to think if you live. You're scared of whether or not, this decision is going to work, or what are people going to say. When you free yourself from the court of public opinion, then God will be able to do what he desires to do in your life. And I promise you, it's going to be better than you thought, better than you could have imagined. When you talk to really, really successful people, however you define that, right? You talk to really successful people, they always had to keep going. They always can tell you the stories of all the things that happened and all the things that they went through to get to that point. It's never, oh yeah, I set this goal and I just did it and now here I am. Boop. It's never that, ever. It's always things that they had to go through to get to it. Shannon says, scared of disappointing God. Can I help y'all right now? I'm finna free some people up. Let me tell you this. God knows everything you'll ever do, every decision you'll ever make. How can you disappoint him? Disappointment comes when someone does something other than what was expected. There's an expectation, the expectation is not met, right? God knows everything you're going to do. Can't forgive myself, right? So disappointing God, disappointing yourself, not being able to forgive yourself. So let me help you. Can't forgive yourself. Let me tell you this. Why? God did. If God can forgive you, why can't you? Listen, we allow society to make us feel like we should not forgive ourselves. People say, I was talking to somebody yesterday and he said, well, what you say when people say, well, you've been married 5 times, you say, well, hasn't everyone made mistakes? That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they were mistakes. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there were things that I had to go through in order to learn the lessons I had to learn. No, they were not mistakes. Those husbands were not mistakes. They were not. Those experiences were not mistakes. The things you went through were not mistakes. Free yourself from the guilt that the enemy sends, because you has had to have every experience that you had. You had to have it. It had to happen. It was all a part of your destiny and your purpose and your development. You can't get to destiny and purpose without going through development. Development is like, okay, so for example, yes. So, for example, oh, you're welcome, D, because that wasn't just for you. That was for a lot of people. That was for a lot of people. So this is the thing. Development, in the world of music, they have people and their job is artist development. Now the people come, they already have the gift, they can sing, they may have the look or they may not, but their job is to develop them as an artist into the person that they need to be for where they're going. It means that they get their wardrobe together, they get them vocal lessons, they connect them with the right people. See, artist development is designed to get the artist to the place where they can extend their reach so that they can show up differently. See, artist development had to work with Cardi B. Cardi B was bad. She already had reach, but what they had to do was get her all the way together. See, Nicki Minaj, she had to go through artist development. They had to get her all the way together, because Nicki wasn't the Nicki that you see back then. She wasn't. She had a whole different face, a whole different body. Yeah. She had a whole different body. Like all of these things that happened were a part of their artist development. Now listen, because God is who he is. I love Joseph. I'm going to read it in just a second. Because of who God is, God knows every decision that you'll make. He's already created a plan to get you to your destiny. Even when you make that decision, you thought you surprised God. You didn't surprise God. God already knew. But check this out. See, we look at it and we want to hold ourselves accountable. We want to judge ourselves. We want to beat ourselves up when God is not beating us up. Prime example, when I was 17 years old, I got pregnant. I had a full scholarship. I was ready to go to college. I decided not to have the baby. I had an abortion. Let me say it again. I had an abortion. God knew I would have that abortion. It didn't catch him unaware. He wasn't shocked by it. He was not surprised. He already knew it had to happen. Why did it have to happen? So that I could now talk about it and talk about what I experienced, which was why I would never have another one. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Like, I had to have the experience to talk about the experience, because he knew that I would talk about it. He let me have the experience so that I could tell the story, so that I could speak to others. There are no accidents with him. Everything that happens, he already knows it's going to happen. Imagine that. See, he's not like us. We have all these expectations, right? We have these expectations that we place on people, and then they don't meet them, and then we feel away. That's not God. That's not God. As long as you still have breath in your body, any little bit of breath, you can still be forgiven. And if he'll forgive you, why won't you forgive yourself? I remember, I'm spilling my tea today. I'm just spilling the tea. I'm spilling the tea. I'm spilling the tea. Listen, I remember I was married. First of all, I had just gotten ordained. Just gotten ordained. And anytime in ministry you just get ordained or you get elevated, the enemy is always, always, always going to send attacks. He just does. That's what he does. It's his MO. That's what happens, right? And so I just gotten ordained. I was the first woman my pastor had ever ordained. I sat before a mixed board. Listen, I'm talking about, I had the Baptist pastor, the Kojic pastor, I had the non-denominational pastor, I had the AME pastor. Like, I'm talking about, I don't know how, all of these different theological perspectives, and that's who I got to answer questions for, right? So I had just gotten ordained. Things were very tense in my house. My husband and I were going through a lot of problems, and I knew I was crying out. I was telling people, look, I need some help. Somebody help me. Because listen, if I don't get some help, something to happen, something to pop off. I'm just telling y'all, I already see what's coming, right? So something popped off, right? And I remember God, not the pastor, not nobody else. God made me stand in front of the church and confess, right? And so I went up there and I was like, I don't want sympathy. Like in my head, this is me in my head. I don't want sympathy. I don't want them to forgive me because, and they didn't have to forgive me. I want you to understand this. This is what God told me to do. He's always told me your life is going to be on display. People are going to be looking. I'm putting you on display. I'm putting you on display. So I had to get in front of the church. My husband got up there with me. I'd had an affair. He got up there with me. My kids were in the church. I had to tell them before we went to church so they wouldn't be caught off guard and stuff. Like it was a whole thing. I was like, there's a lot. So I'm standing up there and I say, forgive me for I've sinned. We ain't Catholic. This ain't this ain't the confessional. God was like, name it. I said, huh? And I had to say I had committed adultery. And I went up there with the thing, I'm not begging nobody to forgive me. I don't care if they forgive me. Pride. When I said I committed adultery, I broke. The humility that God was seeking all along came forth. And I began to weep. And my husband, who I had cheated on, was standing up there. And he looked at the people. And this is what he said. Now, I will forever appreciate him for this, even though our marriage didn't last. I appreciate him for this because that man, in that moment especially, covered me. That was a prime example of covering, right? He got that right. He definitely got that right. He said, if God can forgive her, and I can forgive her, and Pastor Fort can forgive her, who are any of you not to forgive her? Who are you not to forgive you when God has forgiven you? Who are you to continue to beat yourself up when God has forgiven you? Who? Y'all, God is taking us to a place of freedom that we've never known. Freedom from judgment from others and judgment from ourselves. Our biggest critic is us. And so God says, no, no more. Listen, God wants to liberate you. He wants to give you the courage, because I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to experience fear, but it's time to rise up in courage. Courage is the ability to move in spite of fear, to face your fear, and to go forward. That's what God wants. That's all God is asking you for. Have some courage, get some guts, develop some gonads if you're a man. If you're a woman, you don't get none, okay? but really, get some courage. It's time to walk in courage and put the fear behind you. If you believe what God said, move like it, even when you're scared, even when you feel some fear. And don't let the enemy convince you that it's not going to work, because it didn't work. Don't let the enemy convince you that you can't do it, because if you couldn't, God wouldn't have brought you to it. If he didn't know that you had everything you need to be successful, he wouldn't have put it in your path. If he didn't know that you were the person who could endure it, he wouldn't have allowed you to experience it. He knows who to give what to, because there's some stuff that he done gave to some other people. I'm like, good thing I didn't get that, because I would have failed that one, right? But he's not a God who wants to trick you. That's not his intention. His intention is anything he brings to you, he already knows that you have everything that you need to pass. He's not the God of surprise quiz. No, he's already given you every answer, and it is an open book test. And all you got to do is open the book and use the things that he's given you. You were built for this. You were made for this. Your destiny is waiting for you. Your destiny is waiting for you. You just got to get there. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't let fear stop you. No. Big up your faith. Big up your faith. You got to big up your faith and keep believing God and move forward as though the other things had never happened. So I've been married 5 times. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 and 5 were the same person, but I've been married 5 times, divorced 5 times. Everything in me should say run. Run from relationships, run from marriage, run from yourself, girl, okay? But I know because God made me a wife. I'm a wife. That's why I've been married so many times. I'm a wife. I was created as a wife. I wasn't created to be a girlfriend, a boo thing. I'm a wife. And so I've always just gravitated to the position. It may not have been the ideal situations, but they all had purpose, right? So the enemy would desire me not to want to be a wife anymore. But how can I not want to be who I am? That's crazy. It's who I am. It's not a role I occupy. It's who I am. I am a wife. I'm a wife. And you're not a wife if you don't have a husband. So check this out. I've always been a wife because God was my husband. So even when I didn't have a husband in the natural, I've still been a wife. But you think God is going to make me a wife and give me that desire and not give me a man who can be what I need? The only way that happens is if I stop believing, stop risking, stop. I have to stop. And the beauty is because the holes have been filled in me, the next one is the last one. The next one's the last one. So what the enemy will do is say, you got to be extra careful because the last time I had the opportunity to create some amazing and beautiful children, to watch our grandchildren, to experience some ups, some downs, some highs, some lows, impact a lot of people's lives. It was all right. It wasn't destiny, it wasn't permanent, but it did what it was supposed to do. So, what do you think this time is going to be? Everything that I've ever wanted. I ain't quitting. I ain't stopping. Mm-mm. He's waiting for me. He's looking for me. He wants me with my too much self, doing too much, you know, with my fabulosity. He wants all that. See, he'll like that. That'll be something that attracts him to me. Like he'll enjoy that. He's like, oh, my baby is fabulous. Look at my baby. 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 See, he'll like all that. He'll like the boss that I am because he's a boss and it aligns with him. Listen, you live and you grow and you learn. And you learn more about you. The more I've learned about me, the more I know what I have to have. And sometimes we're tempted to settle. And when I say settle, that's not a slight on anybody else, right? It's just settling for less than what it is that we really desire, what we really need. That's why I've been married 5 times. I'm married 5 times because there was some settle in me, like this is as good as it gets. And not in a bad way, but in a way that I didn't want to risk all of my heart. I'm ready. I'm ready to go all in, like totally all in, jump out the plane all in, like, and know that when we're in the plane, he gonna jump first. He gonna be like, I got it, hold on, let me test the air. Come on, let's jump. Come on, what you doing? Come on, I'm waiting for you. Yeah, that's this time, the last time, because the last time's different, and he gets a different me. You all, it's time for you to be the you that God has created you to be. Stop playing small. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. And if you need help, y'all listen, join us on the fast. This 21 days is going to be absolutely incredible because you're going to be dealing with you. You're going to be dealing with you. You are going to be dealing with you. This ain't about you dealing with other people. This is about you dealing with you. The one person that you can change is you. All right. So we're going to deal with us for 21 days leading up to the Pentecost so that we get everything that God wants to give us. Whoo! I'm telling y'all, I'm so excited. I wish y'all could catch the excitement, but I'm not excited just for the sake of excitement. I'm excited because I know my life is never going to be the same after this. Like this fast Pentecost, like all of this has been changing me. Like from before resurrection, the through like I shifted and there was a huge shift in me, Resurrection Sunday. And then coming on down, like I've been changing, evolving, growing, developing. I've been becoming more of who he needs me to be. I'm not talking about more of who people think I should be. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's their thing, right? But more of who God needs me to be. Because I know I'm called to a different kind of people, right? I'm not called to the church people. They're not my people, okay? I'm called to a different kind of people. The people that ain't fooling with the church people because they're like the hypocrisy of it all, the mockery of it all. They too real to deal with some stuff, right? So I'm called to kingdom and building the kingdom with kingdom-minded people. Kingdom is bigger than church. It's bigger than religion and denomination and tradition. Kingdom is universal, cuts across everything. The kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom, not the building or the institution or the denomination, but the kingdom. So look, this is what I'm going to tell you. It's time to tap into kingdom. Tap into kingdom. I don't know what's going on, but I feel this heavy in my spirit. There's a kingdom seed that you guys need to sow, a kingdom seed. This seed is for kingdom. This seed is not for your individual destiny. It's for kingdom, the kingdom, not my kingdom, not your kingdom, but God's kingdom. There's a kingdom shift that's happening, and there's a kingdom seed that needs to be sowed, that needs to be put into the ground. Why? Because God is shifting your mind from church, religion, tradition to kingdom. Yes. All right, Joseph, good to see you. Drop your kingdom seed in Cash App $ DRV Walters, DRV Walters, or PayPal.me DRV Walters, kingdom seed. And then put kingdom in the note. This is for kingdom, because the kingdom is at hand and we got to be able to break the veil and get through. Now, if it's not for you, it ain't for you. I'm not talking to you. But there are those of you that I'm talking to, and you know that I'm talking, because the whole time I've been talking, it's been in your spirit to sow and be obedient and watch what God does. Yes, D, it's for kingdom. It's for kingdom. And know this, no seed that you ever sow into me, no seed that you ever sow here is not going to reap you a harvest. You'll get a harvest. There's always a return. God always does something. It may not be money, it may be grace, it may be favor, it may be an open door, but you'll always get a harvest. Not because I'm so great, but because the God in me moves so powerfully. I'm just telling y'all what I know. So that kingdom seed is going to be a breakthrough seed for you. It's going to be a breakthrough seed for you. My sister says so true. My sister sold $50. My sister done got $50 back about 3-4 times and got a new job. She's in a new circle of people. Like all of these things are happening for her. And it's just what God does. It's what God does. That's why it's important not just to sow, but where you sow is important also. So God is doing something. Those who sow, I'm telling you, God is multiplying your seed. He's multiplying your seed, and he's providing you with favor and breakthrough. This is not a game. We're going all the way in. If you need your book to participate in the fast and the information, put book in the comments, I'll make sure to get you the link so that you can purchase the book. You can purchase it on Amazon, but purchase it from me so that I can autograph it for you, sign it for you, and send it to you. Okay? So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Get your book. If you need the book, put book in the comments and I'll get you the book. All right, D, I see you. I see you, D. I'll get you the link for it. So the book is $20 plus $5 for shipping. So it's going to be $25. Get your book so that I can get them in the mail today. Like I'm putting books in the mail today. We start the fast on Sunday. I'm going to send you the link for the Forward Focus 21 group. I'm going to give you the details. All right, Ashley. All right, Carlos. I got you. I'm going to get those books in the mail today so that you guys can get them. But in the meantime, make sure you add your email address, because your email address is going to allow me to send you the ebook so that you'll already have that when we get started. Okay. So I'll get those books out today and you'll be able to get the ebook. Yes, Lisa. Come on, y'all. We doing this fast, y'all. We not playing with this. This is for destiny. Y'all, this is for destiny. I want everything that God has for me. Everything. And every declaration that God told me to make for my 2022 is going to happen. Know that. every declaration. And not just because I make it happen, but because God is not a man that he should lie. And he said that his word will not return void, but it shall accomplish everything that it is sent forth to accomplish until the coming of Christ Jesus. Listen, you need to know that that's not just for me, that's for you too. That's for you to let God's word accomplish what it's designed to accomplish. Look, know this, know that I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Don't miss this kingdom seed, and don't miss getting your book and participating in this fast. We start Sunday. I'm actually going to do a live in the group that talks about it, talks about the fast. I'm not telling you what to fast. You talk to God about that. He'll tell you. I'm not telling you what your fast needs to look like. You ask God what he needs it to look like. Is it sun up to sunset? Is it 24 hours? Are you fasting all food? Are you fasting certain foods? Like what? So there are some different options that you have. And I encourage you to listen to God, because he knows what you need in order for this fast to do what he needs it to do in your life, right? So he knows you. Listen to him. This whole like past few weeks and months, I've been talking about listening, especially this past week. I was talking about listening to God and hearing God and recognizing God's voice. So make sure that you do that. So look, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an absolutely amazing, incredible, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.